This messes up our copyright every time. It doesn't really matter, though.
I had to start with that.
I love it.
Play Alberta. Play Alberta is offering odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long. And for a limited time only, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code GYB50. That's how Alberta wins.
I love our live chat. I love our live chat. It's such a great element of the show. Right off the bat here, Makush Brody says, are we still trading for Jari? Question mark. Oh, 'tis the roller coaster that is being an Oiler fan for all y'all. Ups and downs and ups and downs. It was an up today, though. What a nice bounce back performance from Stu Skinner. A nice bounce back performance from this team. This was an important one, and they brought the right stuff. A convincing 4-0 win over the Seattle Kraken. A palate cleanser. It definitely was. Going to have lots of fun breaking it down today. We got Struds, we got Zooby Zoo, and we got Brownie coming up in a little bit as well. Ryan Rishaug here in the Timberhouse studio. Looking forward to the show. As always, it's brought to you by our great friends over at Timberhouse. Have you ever considered adding a garden suite or a laneway home for aging parents or loved ones? Well, the team at Timberhouse can design and build the perfect space for your property with a focus on naturally inspired living. They create warm, thoughtful spaces that enhance the lives of your loved ones and provide an oasis to help them age in place. Visit timberhouse.ca. I always want to remind you as well, they are proud sponsors. Actually, never mind. That event was today. We promoted it last pod. But I am here in the Timberhouse studio. Discover how naturally inspired living can make your life better. I was just going to focus on the good charitable work that Timberhouse does in supporting the food drives around town. And they had an event today. So good on them and good on those of you that were able to contribute. Okay, boys, much different tone for tonight's show than last one. And Struddy, I love the afternoon games, buddy. Saturday night, wide open. Oh, the possibilities for Saturday night tonight. I've got plans, heading out, little dinner action. Love the afternoon games.
Yeah, they're money. They're money. And I listen, I think that every NHL team should have a minimum number of afternoon games every year. Like, I think it should be 20-25%. Guys get home rested. Like tonight, they'll get home much earlier, be in their own beds early. I know that's not kind of the angle you're taking, but I'm advocating for this everywhere I can.
Zoobs, Saturday night plans with the early show?
I have to be up at 5 a.m. for my son's hockey, so I don't think there's going to be too much excitement at the Zuby house tonight, unfortunately. So maybe squeeze a movie in, maybe a Christmas movie or something, and get to bed early for once, which I rarely do, but I might have to force it tonight.
Let's see if we can get you through the...
What's that, buddy?
What time's practice?
It's a game. It's at 6:15.
A 6:15
for
Sunday
this
morning
is
game.
U7, Struddy. U7.
I know, but still, like that's.
Instead of that laugh.
I like the early morning ones, and I actually have my kids. We get ice times at 6. It was a practice. A game at 6:15. You're going to be home before even Tim Hortons even opens up, man, or McDonald's even open up yet.
It's outrageous. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's no good. And our practices are Mondays. We have back to back. We got Sunday game, Monday practice right after school. And and it's so early that I got to bust the kid out of school early to do it too, because I'm the coach. I got to show up earlier than 10 minutes before practice. So
those days are so far behind me. So far. Todd Gack chiming in here. Struddy looking sharp. Hockey moms must have been taking a peek. So as we know, Struddy talks often about that. And Todd likes what you're bringing to the table. Hey, quick question before we get started. We're going to break this game down. I just need a little bit of help here. And I'm going to be a little vulnerable here. I'm asking for some help with with a personal hygiene question. Why not? So to have dinner after the show, right? Reservation's a little tight. 7:00. We'll see. It's about 5:13 now. We're about a 90-minute show. So today, light workout, Struds, some weights in the basement, no elliptical. Went from there, and again, showered late in the day yesterday. Light workout today. Hot tub this afternoon, but not too long. Like a 15-minute hot tub, right? I'm not sweating. I'm not leaking. Dip the hair, and got out. Now, haven't showered. So shower yesterday, light workout, a rinse in the hot tub. I feel cleansed after having been in the hot tub. Do I have to try and squeeze a shower in before I go out for dinner tonight? Or am I okay to go? Like I'm smelling good. I can smell myself here. Little extra swipey deodorant just to make sure. Like I feel like I'm good to just go for dinner.
Zuby, do you want to handle this one? I'm not sure I can. I can't start a podcast by ripping him, so I'm removing myself.
If I'm ever not sure, I always put it to the wife. Hey, smell me, because I know I'll get an honest answer there. So I would put it to her. Can I go out to a public place smelling like this? And you just can't push back at all. If she says no, you got to hop in that shower.
But what if it pushes the reservation a little? Like it might be dicey. It might make it a little tight.
Well, I guess you should have thought that should have been an intermission shower if you thought that was.
No, I napped. I had to nap during intermission. I was tired from my workout. So second intermission, I napped.
Well, then this is the priorities you've chosen, I guess. Your wife is. It's your wife that's going to have to.
I'm trying to bite my tongue here. I guess my question.
Go for it.
Well, because why wouldn't you want to put your best foot forward going out? You keep saying you showered yesterday. By saying that, you acknowledge the fact you should have showered today. You're going out with friends. Maybe it's your wife, whatever the case. Give him a fighting chance. You want people to take a look and say, man, that Rishaug looks put together. Right now, he looks like a guy who fell asleep during intermission, had a hot tub, didn't sweat, allegedly. The only person ever going to a hot tub and not sweat. And you're going to present yourself at dinner like that. So I hope it's not Costco Rob that has to deal with this nightmare.
It's Costco Murray, actually. It is Costco Murray. We're going for dinner with Costco Murray and weird birthday celebrator Amber. And so it's them. It's not like we're going out for dinner with the mayor and his wife or the prime minister. I mean, it's not like Murray's going to be wearing some sort of Argyle lumberjack sweater. And like, this is not a fancy thing. Just going to grab a bite.
Okay. Well, I think you've answered your own question, but whatever. Just throw some cologne on like you're 13 and you'll be fine.
Zuby, let's make that the poll tonight. Okay? Do I need to shower before I go for dinner after the show? I need to know. I just want to know what the people think. Lots of contributions coming in here, I would say. Just shower. It's not hard to do a quick shower. Minus 10 brownie points to Shogger. I'm losing brownie points already. I'm not going to read that one. Don't be lazy and cut corners. Pers 97 says light workout. They're all light workouts with me. 12-minute elliptical is no joke, says Todd Gack. All right. I have a feeling I know which way this one's going to go, but I'll serve myself up on the platter. Whichever way the poll determines, that is what I will do. So let me know what you think in our DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center YouTube poll. Time now to break down the game, shall we? Brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. During every Oiler game day at the Canadian Brew House, enter at any Edmonton and area location for your chance to win Oiler home game tickets. Plus, enjoy $1 off Molson Canadian and Coors Light tankards. Edmonton-born, Canadian-operated, 48 locations across Canada. It is the Canadian Brew House. Would have been a happy crowd at locations across Edmonton this afternoon, watching the afternoon affair. Many areas in which the Oilers bounced back, Struds, but the spot that I want to start is with Stu Skinner, because we talked a lot about him last show. In subsequent days, there was a lot of talk about him, had the tough interview that he had to do, answering questions about potential trades. And then he comes out tonight and pitches a shutout. I like that resilience from Stu Skinner, kind of up yours to everybody, even though I don't get the sense he's an up yours kind of guy. That's what he did today.
He sure did. You know, and it's funny, you know, tough games, whatever. He just seems to find a way to get back into it. The reality is, though, we can't talk about his performance without talking about what happened in front of him. It was a much more controlled environment in front of him today. Not discounting that he had made some good saves, but it just felt way more in control when you saw the Oilers come in their own zone. They were in the right place. They weren't chasing the puck around. They weren't all over the map. And I think that Stu and a lot of goalies that are more blockers, they're more comfortable and they thrive in those types of environments.
Yeah, for sure. I just want it to be noted, Zuby. It's been 2 times in the last, I think, week and a half. I've tried to start the show by giving the goaltender credit, and Struds has completely taken the wind out of their sails.
No, so
just
let me
total popping of the balloon, Zuby, for the goaltenders.
And I know, Shogger, I know what you're saying, and I agree with you. But I've been on this show. I've been consistently saying that we can't evaluate the goalies without having a good, better play in front of them. And so I don't think I can't answer that one without the other, because then I'm just saying, well, it's all the goalie. I don't think it is all the goalie. I think it has to be both parties have to be on their game for both to have a good game. So yeah, I know I knew it when I spit it out.
Zuby, would you like to chime in here?
Well, I mean, in this case, I think the other time he might have been more wrong. In this case, I don't think he's wrong. It was a completely different effort from the team. We get back to that word predictable. You see how much better Stu is when the game's predictable. There was very little goofy stuff, scrambles. It was all really controlled. His movement was good. He was square to the shooters. He had good distance. But it wasn't it wasn't like, think about his other shutout against the Rangers. I mean, he stole that game. That was an incredible game. Tonight he was very good. He was good enough. Very good. He was very good.
Do you want to go to dinner early?
Yeah. I'll let you two finish the show. You know what?
You got time for a shower.
Yeah. You know what? I'm leaving before Ask Us Anything. We're going to wrap the YouTube poll. And if it says I have to shower, then I'm leaving early for Ask Us Anything. Although now it's going to guarantee it, because it's a way for people to get me off the show faster.
I got bad news for you early on here.
It's not looking good. Well, hey, listen, people just need a little bit of time to come to their senses. I'm sure we'll discuss it a little bit more. Some of the comments, oh my goodness. Zuby, you're going to have to be careful which ones you allow on air. Struds, I like stories, okay? People give me a rough time all the time. They don't believe me that I don't cheer. I don't cheer. Whether the team wins or loses doesn't matter to me. But I like stories. I'm interested in stories. Stu Skinner was a great story this week, and that's why I wanted to talk about it first and focus on him. It can't be easy to be in that position and to face that fire. And they always say, oh, we never pay any attention. BS. Families send it to you. People talk about it. It was 2.5 days of Stu Skinner trade talk. You know, the tough scrum that he had to deal with. Like, that was a lot. And there's a lot of pressure that comes with doing this job here in Edmonton. So when it goes well for him and he answers back after a tough little run, it's 2 or 3 starts here that have been pretty good here for Skinner. I think it's a good story, and I think it deserves to be carved out in its own little storyline and say, that was impressive tonight. He wasn't spectacular, but he was really, really, really strong after having been under fire recently. That's why I want to shine the light on him.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, I'm not going to say you're wrong there. You know, he does seem to have the ability to, or he does have the ability to bounce back when you think that, you know, things aren't going well for him. He's mentally strong. Like, and I think that's one of the characteristics I like about him for sure. But even if Stu Skinner from tonight played against or behind that group on Tuesday, it would have been a bloodbath, right? So I just put the asterisk beside it. Shut up with an asterisk, because the Oilers were way better in front of him. Yeah.
Whoa. No chance you can put an asterisk beside that shutout, Struds. No chance. That means it's less than a normal shutout.
Well, not every shutout's the same. I think that's remember a few years ago when Henrik Lundqvist said that was the easiest shutout he's ever had in his life against the Oilers. That's a number of years ago. I mean, that was, you know, that was a really easy shutout. The Oilers didn't get to the net. And I don't want to discount what Stu Skinner did, but I think I want to I want to shine the light on.
Oh, you're shiting it all right. This whole take of yours is the shites.
I'm shining a light on just the play in front of them. And that was something that I think the coach really focused on the last couple of days.
You're lighting a bag full of shite and dropping it on Stu Skinner's doorstep and running away. That's what you're doing.
I've never used that word in my life, and I chose tonight to use it. Shite.
Zuby,
shine and light.
I'm going to let you back in here. He's trying to put an asterisk beside your guy's shutout now.
Now he's wrong about that. There's no asterisk beside a shutout, unless it's like he had what, 24, 20 some saves. This isn't like an 11 shot shutout where they had a bunch of the team got food poisoning against him and only the bottom two lines were able to play. That's a real shutout. It's a legit shutout. He should feel good about it. It is a good story, and I want to see him back it up with a second good or really good game, because that's what we haven't seen this year, in my opinion.
Let's get to the Weiss Johnson soundbox and hear from the man himself. Brought to you by Weiss Johnson Heating and Air Conditioning. Should you need a new train furnace, air conditioner, heat pump, hot water tank, or garage heater, Weiss Johnson's offering 24 months, no interest, equal payments, OAC to make your purchase easier heading into the Christmas season. Their family helping your family for nearly 50 years. Visit WJJingle.com for exclusive specials for Got Your Back Jingle lovers. That is WJJingle.com. It's a shutout night. We're going full jingle, Struds. That's my call. You can sit there and listen to it and think about what you've said here today. Flexing my muscles as a show producer. Here comes the second verse, folks.
Hey.
Stu Skinner on the penalty kill and what some believe was an average night from him.
On the PK? Yeah. I mean, we just I think we were just really focused on our own details, not too much of what they were doing, and just being in the moment and being able to read off each other, really trust each other. And I think you saw that tonight.
Your shutout tonight. What did you think of the way that you were able to play and also respond?
Yeah, I think it was good. I was able to play a solid game. I thought you saw that from everybody. I think this is one of the games where we were able to, play a really solid 60-minute game.
Wildcard Willis says, great shutout by the defense today, Struddy. He had that in quotations. Yoshi saying, Shogger prolonging the podcast so we won't need to shower by going full jingle. I love it, Struds. So now do you have anything to say for yourself? You look like you got something. I want to make sure you get to defend yourself.
I think I've said a lot during the first 15 minutes.
Said a lot. Okay. Now we're going to focus on your favorite subject, the subject that won this team the game. But I also want to point out, Struds, there is a saying out there that your best penalty killer needs to be who, Jason? Who does your best penalty killer need to be?
The goaltender?
Right.
No, that's
so as
fair.
we jump into the PK discussion, do you want to start there with Stu?
I think that's where you want to start. I actually want to start with something different. I thought the Oilers took a lot of bad penalties tonight. So I think we have to acknowledge that. Like the penalties, I love penalties that are, intentional, hitting, boarding, but the tripping, Kulak where he's reaching up and just grazes the guy with the tip of a stick. Like that doesn't do anything except infuriate coaches, right? And frustrates your teammates. So they had to kill a lot of penalties that they did. I quite frankly didn't think they need to. They had a really tough night, if I remember, on Tuesday at the penalty kill. And tonight against a team that's not as skilled for sure. Seattle isn't no disrespect to their top power play unit compared to Dallas, but it's not the same. But they were, Seattle was fairly robotic in the way they were moving the puck around. So that gave the Oilers defenders a chance to get in the lanes or to disrupt it. And then I thought it really gave Stu a good chance of being square. I mean, they didn't get a lot of shots in the penalty kill, but how many times did you see that puck hit him right in the crest? Like it was square. He was square to it. Now, does that speak to Stu being in the right place? Yes. I think it also speaks to kind of where Seattle is right now with their high level skill sets.
Yeah, for sure. I think too, like there was a comment earlier. I'm sorry, I can't pick up who it's from, but Stu made it look easy tonight with the way he played. Like Struds, I think when he's on his game, it probably looks like a less busy, easier night for him
100%.
because he's there, right? And I feel like Stu did a good job of maybe giving the impression that it wasn't a tough night for him tonight.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Now, I'm going to go the other way again. When you're playing better in front of a goaltender, they can read where the shot's going to come from. And I think that makes a big difference. I keep thinking back to when Marty Brodeur played for the Devils. He didn't get a lot of shots. The ones he did get, he knew exactly where they were coming from. And he was in that lane waiting for it, right? Oh, here I am. Poof, hit me. Poof, hit me. And so I think that is like both of them are tied together. I hate to bring this up again, but even the penalty kill, there's going to be chances against. They have more players than you do, but being in the right place, we saw the Oilers block a few shots on the power play, on the penalty kill or power play for Seattle. It does make a big difference. I think he relaxes and he's like, okay, I can kind of see where this is heading. I'll be there. It can hit me in the chest.
Head coach Chris Knobloch on that 5-on-3 kill, which was clutch.
Nothing at that time, I believe. That's a position that they can score one, if not two goals in that situation with the power play time, because it was almost a full 2-minute 5-on-3, and we had some key blocks. That's part of the reason why Nugent Hopkins is so important. He had a big. He's part of that kill. He had a big block. He's in on the power play goals. So the special teams, that definitely could have been a turning point, and we were able to kill that.
All right, let's get to our storylines, brought to you by Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province. Never been a better time to sign up. Right now, you can score a $50 free bet when you make a minimum $50 deposit with the code GYB50. That's code GYB50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner. Zuby, our line was really rooted in a couple of days of practice making a difference for the Oilers, wasn't it? Muted, buddy.
Yes. And seeing the focus, on the defensive side of the game in that practice, especially with some of the stuff you guys brought us and broke down, the video from the show on Friday or what Thursday, and people love that. And so we took the line of we didn't necessarily know even when we placed it who would be getting the call in net, but we took the Kraken to go 3 goals or fewer. So we took the under 4, 3 goals or fewer for the Kraken, and let's just double check that. Yeah, we hit on that one. So
we hit on that one. We did. I think they boosted that for us too. So once again, on game days, keep an eye on our social media. We'll always be releasing a line through Play Alberta that we believe is tied to an interesting story for the game that night. And really the Oilers turning it around defensively was one of the stories of this night, Struds. A couple of days of practice, I think, dialing some areas in, Struds. What did you see?
Well, they, you were there. They didn't work on their defensive zone structure, but they did work on their kind of back checking, angling in the neutral zone, and you could see it. And the way it expresses itself, it was so much calmer. When they were coming back into the zone, everyone's going to their spot. And the problem is everyone wants to get back and we'll back check right to the net. Well, there's already D-men there. We don't have to get back to the net. We need to just stop around those hash marks and create a bit of a wall around here. And you can maybe pick up a late guy that's coming in and picking up the juicy rebounds. Even sometimes the angling, they were shutting things off at the red line and blue line. So, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but you need to do these things in practice so that they can get that feeling back. And I had an old teammate of mine saying, it becomes habit. If you don't have it, you need to work on it so it becomes a habit.
Zuby, I know I asked for it next segment, but I want to show you. I want to show the heat map right now.
Sure.
So, Struds, last show we illustrated how the Oilers were running a drill where they wanted their forwards to back check, as you just said, down to the hash marks. Now, Natural Stat Trick always does this awesome heat map. What you're going to look at is you're going to look at the shot attempts from the Oiler opposition the last couple of games. And you're going to see the Dallas game on one side and the Seattle game on the other. Zuby, you have that?
Yeah, here it comes.
Okay, perfect. So this is the Oiler net. So look on the left. That's the Dallas game. Look where their shot attempts came from. And look at how many are in and around those hash marks in the high slot, Struds, into those areas where we talked about them being far too loose. Now over on the right side is their game tonight against the Seattle Kraken, Struds. Look at between the hash marks, just inside the circles. I mean, it's a significant difference, and these are at even strength.
Yeah, that's a really good pickup. And it's cool to see it, so clearly like that. And this didn't just happen, right? Like you don't just get better shape by just looking at a graphic. You have to work on it and practice it. And that's what they did. And that's, again, you got to practice it. You need to work on these things and get it figured out. So oh, geez, I'm supposed to go stop here. These guys are really smart. They're the smartest hockey players in the world. But you have to remind them. Everyone needs reminders sometimes. That's why practice is so key. And it's hard this year because there's so few of them.
Yeah, go ahead, Zuby.
I had one other thing, just where we actually, this is not in our crunching the numbers segment, but it is interesting to note from the Sport Logic stats, scoring chances off the rush, Seattle only 3 today, 5-3 in favor of the Oilers, but only 3 scoring chances off the rush. And that's they were practicing how they were defending rushes, right? So
yeah, 100%. It's really interesting to drill in on, that couple of days of practice, Struds, because you talked about how important they were. So we take a close look at what they were working on, and then you see some results tonight. And that's a positive thing. That speaks to a healthy process and a staff that can identify some issues, strategize how to work their way through it in practice, address those issues, and then they get some results. Now, the key is for it to last more than one game. And the key is for it to stick and become their base game, adhering to those sorts of details and such. Let's get into those numbers, though. Let's crunch them, courtesy McDonald's, the ones who always ask for the extra pickles. This one is for you. It's called the Triple Pickle McCrispy. Made with 100% Canadian raised seasoned chicken, topped with shredded lettuce, crispy fried pickles, classic tangy pickles, savory dill pickle sauce, and served on a soft potato bun. Limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants here in Canada and around Edmonton. Courtesy Sport Logic, Strud. Some more numbers that we're keeping an eye on as we try and do a little bit of a deeper dive into, the meat and potatoes of the Oiler game and the ebbs and flows of some of these trends.
It's really important to kind of see where they're at. I think, someone challenged me today, well, these numbers aren't accurate. It's consistent for them. And they are accurate because they do it the same way every time. If we use Sports Logic one time, then me another time, and then Showergate another time, they're different, but they're all consistent. And these guys do a really good job. So the big thing I want to talk about is the shorthanded block passes. That's a big deal. Now they were on the penalty kill a long time, so I don't want to so much look at what Seattle did. I want to look at what the Oilers did because they had a lot of PK time. That speaks to sticks in the right spots. Again, you don't have to be running around, but have your sticks in the right spots. And then
for those listening in podcast form, Strud, 10-2 for the Oilers, shorthanded block passes for those just listening to the show.
Yeah, really good time. And then something we've been talking about, it seems like daily on every pod about the Oilers' management of the puck management. How does that express itself? Turnover scoring chances against. Seattle 5, Oilers 9. So again, not so worried about the Oilers are doing with that because that means they're not turning over if Seattle only gets 5. So those are the ones I really thought were important, buddy.
Yeah, definitely. Details, right? This was a good defensive team last year. Really, they hung their hat on that in a lot of ways. And for them to have been so far from that characteristic this year is head-scratching. It truly is head-scratching. They have it in there. It's just slowly but surely working their way through it. So it's one game, but some positive steps for sure. Back to the Weiss Johnson soundbox one more time. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on a penalty kill.
Staying within our system, trusting it, trying to keep things outside for sure. And then, like I said, you got to rely on him sometimes back there, and he did a great job. But yeah, I thought we were just trusting our system and working together.
We were able to see the first power play unit, that we're used to seeing all of you guys together. What did you like about what you were able to create, obviously, with those two power play goals?
I think the way that we kind of worked to get pucks back there, that's what started it. It's not always going to be clean and easy, but to get pucks back, then they're out of position a little bit. And the first one was just a great play by Bushi, but I think it's going to start with our work, and then we can make plays off that.
All right. There you go. That is our breakdown brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. Going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll get our relentless player rolling. We'll revisit our poll, which I think once I have a little bit of an opportunity to make more of my case, it might slant results a little bit more in my direction. Early returns are in. Not looking great, but you need to hear me out a little bit more. And Rob Brown's going to join us. Tons ahead here on Got Your Back, presented by Timberhouse Developments. At Modern Measure, every item of clothing starts from scratch and is designed from the ground up, based on both your style preferences and current fashion trends. Their clothing is fully designed to give you the exact look you're looking for, down to the smallest details and customization. The Modern team will work with you to make sure that you not only look and feel great, but make the most of your investment. On the ground floor of Edmonton Tower downtown, Modern Measure. For over 60 years, Belvedere Golf and Country Club has delivered a high-quality membership experience to Edmonton and area. And now it's even better. Drainage and irrigation improvements in 2024 have taken course conditions to a new level. This commitment to long-term sustainability means exceptional playing conditions all season long. Belvedere's tee sheet availability is unmatched, so join now and experience golf the way it was meant to be played, on your schedule. Visit belvederegcc.com today. Rolling right along on Got Your Back with our takeaways, brought to you by Shandos Construction. Shandos doesn't just hire talent, they invest in it. 100% employee owned, so when their people grow, the whole company will grow with them. Ready to build something that matters? Apply now at shandos.com/apply. Do we have a premature Brownie there?
I just got
I saw Brownie's head pop up.
Yeah, just got a little punchy on the controls here.
I looked up from my script. I was staring at Rob Brown. What the heck's going on here? Okay, Struds, gamesmanship. It's something that we've talked about, and that this team needs to kick it up a little bit on that front. And I like what they brought tonight in that department. It's not going to be able to be like this every single night, but sometimes you got some business to take care of, and they kind of did that tonight.
Well, in the case of Clattenburg, he can't help himself. Like, he's just that guy. He goes in there and hits. I don't know if it was from behind. It was definitely, I would have been upset if I'd been hit like that. And one of the teammates comes over, and they're not Goudreau, and he's not really sure what he's doing. Am I doing this? Am I not? It doesn't really matter. But Clattenburg really doesn't give him a choice, right? He embarrasses him into the fact that he has to fight, and so he gets in there in a fight. Then you talk about Darnell Nurse, and didn't like the hit he took from Marshman earlier in the game. Probably should have been a call, wasn't. So he, at an appropriate time when the game's all over except the crying, tries to go for Marchment, but he's a little bit of a rat, right? He's not that guy that's going to stand there and answer for it. He likes to kind of keep you off edge. So, yeah, and then you got Regula. I mean, that can't hurt him. I thought this was Regula's best game in quite a while he had today. So all three guys very positive.
Couple of things for me. Marchment did not like the hit that Nurse threw on him earlier in the period, and he took a number. Okay. There was a hit that Nurse threw on him in the corner that he felt was from behind. He was mad at the refs that he didn't get a call. Marchment took a number, and he blasted Nurse, like just blasted him. Good for him. Bit of a blindside hit, not great. That's Marchment taking a number and doing what he does. So he's not sitting there feeling like he needs to take the fight, because he's like, hey, we're even. Like, we're 1 for 1 as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Now, in an ideal world, sure, he drops the gloves and, men among honor and all that stuff, but he's not necessarily that guy. But I like the fact that, Adam Henrique comes over there. I mean, Marchment's a big guy, and Adam Henrique is not a fighter. So Henrique gets in there and gets scrappy. I don't know what would have happened if Marchment dropped his gloves, but I like that from Adam Henrique. And then, you talked about Clattenburg. I really like the way Clattenburg has approached this part of his game getting called up. He could have easily come in hot and been dumb about this, because that's his thing. That's what's gotten him noticed. That's what's helped him get here. And I got to do it. And now you're forcing it. You're taking bad penalties. The guys are rolling their eyes at you a little like, oh boy, right? He's been really smart, Struds. He's played hard. He hasn't turned down any opportunity to finish a check, and he forced them into it today. And to me, I mean, I know he ended up getting an extra penalty, which was ridiculous, but I think he's been really smart about trying to find that.
Yeah, you know what? And the greatest compliment you give a player is they say, I thought he played more. I think Clattenburg was like 7 or 8 minutes. I might be off, somewhere in there. And he's like, I thought he played more than that. And that is a huge compliment. So he's done a really good job. He's kicking himself. He had a wide open net on his backhand and shot it over like that. That is, if you don't have a goal in the HL yet, you are literally just, just completely rattled. But luckily he has a goal, but that could have been two. So he's really doing well, right? He's playing well. He's letting people know that he is or is going to be an NHL player. It's a great start.
6 hits in 6 minutes and 38 seconds.
Crazy.
And one missed shot, one really good scoring chance there. So, hey, man, this team can use that kind of energy and that kind of gamesmanship. So I like that part of it. Ty Emberson and Alec Regula, both of them have had some tough outings recently, Struds. And I thought that you pointed to Regula there. I'll point to Emberson as well. I think these guys had really much needed steady performances from the two of them. The first thing that Alec Regula did, he stepped onto the ice, had to chase a puck back, had two guys on him hard. He paused for half a second, made a beautiful, not up the middle, but up the middle of the circle into the hash mark area, beautiful outlet under pressure. The first thing he did, and I thought, ooh, okay, let's pay attention to his afternoon, and he was steadier.
Both of them looked fresher. Now, I don't know if they're tired. I don't know what was going on, but they both looked like they were getting the pucks quicker and they're making decisions with the puck quicker. And that makes a big difference when you're going back to get pucks. Even on the offensive blue line, I thought specifically Edmonton was really moving around on top of that blue line, and just creating a bit of havoc for whoever's trying to cover them or defend against them. So these two guys have higher upside, I think, than Stetcher, specifically Regula.
Yep.
And they're younger.
That's why they're there.
So it makes sense that they're here. And credit the Oilers. They continue to play them even when it wasn't going as well as it could have. But I think for Regula, to me, this is like game one. I'm back. This is my game one. This is a starting point. Because you've said it many times, after the Kane hit, he hasn't been the same. Tonight was a good start. Keep fresh, keep going. You'll be fine.
I thought the guys buckled down nicely for Skinner at the end of the game. Shutouts matter, and I thought that in a 4-0 game, for Adam Henrique to go out of his way to block that shot, I love that. I just think that stuff is noticed, and I think that stuff is important, Struds. I like the way they galvanized at the end for Skinner. I think that was meaningful.
Yeah, that's culture, right? That's your culture, that you realize that the game is over, but there's still something important to play with, or play for, I should say.
Get to our relentless player of the game, and that was brought to you by our friends over at UCAN Youth Services and Edmonton Charity, relentless in helping 16 to 24-year-olds step out of harm's way and into meaningful work. Make that change today. Right here at home, visit ucan.ca. Who gets the nod tonight, Struddy?
Well, you haven't acknowledged this player enough, so I will. Stu Skinner. You look at what this guy's been through the last couple days. And I'll say this. He has been relentless in that he never seems to really get rattled. And that's something I really respect about him. It's a hard position he plays, playing at the highest level in a city where there's a lot of conversation about what the goalie or goalies haven't done. And I'll give him credit. He had, nice bounce back performance tonight after a tough night just a few nights ago.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick by you. I think that's poignant, on point, and certainly well said. What else do we got? Anything else stand out to you from tonight's game, Struddy? I'm just working my way through it. Power play was good. Nugent Hopkins coming back is going to make a big difference in a bunch of different areas. The three-headed monster. Let's maybe go there because Knobloch. And again, they were working with a lead, so it's easier, but he was able to, for the most part, stay with his lines. He loaded them up after some penalty kills and such, but really beyond that, it really was something to have McDavid's line come out, have a decent shift, Draisaitl's line come out, and you got Draisaitl skating around out there, and then Nugent Hopkins and Henrique, and you're like, okay, that can make some sense.
It really does, and this is kind of what I've envisioned. Obviously now they keep putting Savoy up there, and he's working hard. I'd love to see him cash in some more points here, and I'm sure the team would as well. But they're going to let him figure it out, and it's like they're playing the long game. Okay, we're going to play these guys Savoy, Regula, Emberson, and we're going to hope that by February, March, these guys are much more improved than they were to start the year, and that's kind of how a coach has got to do it. But Nugent Hopkins, he's so important to this team, and the power play, the penalty kill. But in the power play, just feels like he's like their safety net, right? Every time there's something wrong, the way to get it to someone who, is open or has some extra time compared to when he gets a hot potato and he serves out to someone nice and calm.
For sure. Okay, we got Rob Brown standing by, so we're going to get to a break real quick, and when we come back, Brownie's going to jump in. We'll have Brownie Points, we'll have core adjustments, we'll have Struddy's World, we'll get to our YouTube poll, because I think Brownie's going to back me up on this YouTube poll today. So we'll go a little longer with Brownie. We'll break now. That was our takeaway segment brought to you by Shandos Construction. Still tons ahead here on the pod. Yoshi says, go Showergate.
Why would you? Nobody puts in wood windows or siding anymore, so why put in wood fences? Maintenance-free vinyl fence from DLR is backed by a lifetime warranty and will save you time. Weekends are for playing, not painting. Go vinyl at dlrvinylproducts.ca.
Riverside Motorsports is your ultimate multi-brand dealer. With a massive lineup of motorcycles, ATVs, side-by-sides, snow bikes, e-bikes, and snowmobiles, all under one roof. With Alberta's best selection, a huge parts and accessories inventory, and a fully certified service department, Riverside has everything you need to ride. Family-owned and serving Edmonton for over 55 years, see what they have to offer in-store just off St. Albert Trail or online at riversidemotorsports.com.
Allison pointing out Brownie has never once backed you up. That's a good point by you, Allison. I might be setting myself up for a little bit of disappointment here. Welcome back to the show. We're going to start this segment with our De Boers Golf Shop and Fitting Center YouTube poll. Stock up, buy 3, get 1 free on all gloves, and check out all used inventory priced right at cost. Save $100 on Click Gear push carts or power up with Power Caddy power carts and save $250. These deals and more all month long. Located at 5311 99th Street in Edmonton with his microphone working beautifully. Rob Brown joins us. Brownie, a little odd for us to start with the YouTube poll, but we've got an interesting one. Struds, I'm going to give you a chance to let Brownie know what the poll is tonight. You go ahead and explain it, buddy.
Yeah, so Shagar's going out for a nice dinner with some family and friends. He showered last night, had one of his workouts. I'd call it more like a stretch. And then it was in the hot tub earlier today. And so he's not going to shower before he goes out for dinner. I say #grease pit. What say you?
Well, I don't want to judge anybody else, but if I'm going out for dinner, I'm showering before I go out for dinner with family and friends. Throw in the fact if I work out. Now, I know I probably sweat more because I work out. So I would certainly shower before I went out with family and friends. I think it's common courtesy. So I got to be honest. If you're saying no shower is your side of the argument, I'm going to have to be on Struddy's side on this one.
But Struds, you didn't represent my argument properly. Like, why didn't you tell it? Brownie, this is the thing. We have reservations. And it probably pushes the reservations if I try and squeeze in a shower after the show. It probably makes us late. So I showered late yesterday, right? A super light workout today, like 90 minutes of weights. For me, that it's not a big deal for me. I had like a 12-minute hot tub. It was basically like a shower. It was like a rinse in the hot tub. I didn't even get hot. Got out. And I'm kind of ready to go. So I'm just not sure I need to make everybody late with an additional shower. And so we're putting it to the people.
If you really cared about getting there on time, you probably would have dressed to go out before you did the podcast. So you wouldn't be wearing your workout clothes while you're on air right now.
Am I not supposed to wear this to dinner? I can't wear this to dinner?
I'm not exactly sure. If you're going to Mickey D's, yes, that's fine. You can do that. But if you're going somewhere different, you could probably shower. You could maybe have Randine start the shower now, so it's nice and warm. You can hop right in. It doesn't take that long. So yeah, I think everybody in the restaurant would prefer you shower tonight.
How can you work out for 90 minutes allegedly and not sweat? Like that is what's your heartbeat? Is it actually lower? Is it lower down?
I was inflating the number of minutes that I worked out for because I was feeling insecure. It was a 17-minute arms and shoulders routine that I do. I wasn't sweating that much. I'm just saying with a minute and a half between sets. So it was not a lot, but I'm just saying I'm not sweating that much. Zuby,
Obviously,
how's the
like
poll
seven-
looking?
No, what, 6 sets then or something like that? Not even 5 sets.
Where are we at here, Zuby, in the
Didn't warm
poll?
up at
Is
all.
You're
this-
losing.
Has it gotten
about-
any better since Brownie joined?
No, I don't know if it has since Brownie joined, but it was hovering close to 90%. Yes, you should shower, and it's closer to 85 now. So it's ticked down a little bit. More people are asking, and I have to admit, the more I thought about this, more and more people are asking about the hot tub. That's actually my bigger concern, because you have, I don't know, is your hot tub chlorine or bromine or other?
Bromine. It's a bromine hot tub, but we recently just topped it up, refreshed the water.
geez.
Like, it is
Good.
crystal clear in there. It's like a shower. It's like a spring. I might as well have been in a natural waterfall spring. Like, that's how clean
you-
and tight our
Did you shower? Did you shower before you went in your hot tub?
No.
You went sweaty into your hot tub? Oh, it's not crystal clear
It was
water
a
anymore, then, is
17-minute. It was a 17-minute workout. All right.
2 sweaty palms right this way.
Okay. If I lose this poll, Brownie, I'm making you stay for Ask Us Anything, because I'm going to go shower during Ask Us. I promised I'd shower for Ask Us Anything if I lost the poll. Meanwhile, let's give Brownie a chance to take center stage. So it is Brownie Points. Let's get to it, Zuby. Yes, they are Brownie Points, brought to you by the Alberta Ram dealers. Now you don't have the animation when we need it.
I know, my thing's going slow. I might have to do it manually here. I'll do it live.
We're
Zuby's
doing it
taking a shower.
live.
Oh, here it comes.
Here it comes. Brought to you by the Alberta Ram dealers. Get 10 years of built-in confidence at your Alberta Ram dealer with Canada's best full-size truck limited powertrain warranty. Every new 2026 Ram truck comes with a 10-year, 160,000-kilometer warranty. Check out your Ram dealer today. Just an absolutely beautiful truck inside and out. Go take one for a test drive. Brownie, there was a lot of discussion in my house today about Randine being worthy of 100 Brownie points. And there was a lot of debate and discussion. There was shock and awe in the house that you just gave her the lead like that.
There wasn't shock and awe anywhere else. I think that's the only place people are shocked. And also, Zuby, going forward, my mother says she wants a new picture of me when I'm not on air. She says she doesn't like the one she wants, and Mom gets what she wants. So
boy.
I'll send you a list, Zuby, of new pictures. New, not nude. New pictures. Anyways,
All right,
let's
Karen,
start. I got
tell her to
20
send me the best one she's got of you in her phone. No problemo.
I will do that. I will let her know. I got 26 Brownie points to Stu Skinner. No player has been criticized more than Skinner during this slow start to the season. Tonight, with his team playing a much better defensive game in front of him, Skinner gave them the big save when needed, stopping a breakaway by Catton when the game was still in the balance. Nice bounce back for goaltender Stu Skinner with 26 save shutout. I got 17 Brownie points to the Oilers number 93, who showcased tonight his importance of this team when he is injured and not playing. Nuge played 17 minutes tonight, scores a PP goal, is big part of the PK unit that was 6 for 6, including a long 5-on-3 that, of course, he started. He played third line center, allowing the Oilers to have the huge advantage down the middle. So RNH showed the importance that he is to this team tonight. I got 8 Brownie points to the Oilers star forwards, 93, 97, 18, and 29. Arrested, 97 and 29, and the additions of Healthy, 93 and 18, showed tonight the biggest difference between these two teams battling for a playoff spot. The Kraken lack the game breakers that the Edmonton Oilers have. Those 4 players combined for 4 goals and 8 points, all 4 of them a goal and assist tonight. I got 60 Brownie points to the Edmonton Oilers for their first complete 60-minute effort since the first couple games of the season. This was a clinic on how to play defensively, limiting the Kraken to very little 5-on-5, add fantastic special teams, superb goaltending, and you can see what this team is capable of doing when they are an emotionally engaged hockey club. The Oilers were better in every aspect of the game tonight. And this last one, I'm taking away 2 Brownie points to the refs tonight. I had no problem with all the penalties that were called. The Oilers deserved everything they got, as did the Kraken. But I do have a problem with the 2 non-calls. If you were going to call plays that are 50-50, the bump, Marchman on the goaltender, the little tug by Kulak that got one of his penalties, If you're going to call those, then you got to call the dangerous ones. The Marchman hit from behind on Nurse, that's a penalty. That is a predatory penalty, hitting a guy who's defenseless from behind when the puck was gone. To me, that's a penalty. The hit by Nurse on that Catton, how that is not a hit from behind. That is direct into the numbers, face into the glass. That was because Nurse was angry. He didn't get the call for him earlier in this game. So if the referees want to call penalties, fine. But the two most dangerous plays in this hockey game tonight, the referees didn't make a call on either one of them, and shame on them. And those tonight are my brownie points.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, there seems to, everything was hit to the head. We were going to rid ourselves of that in the NHL and hockey down. And I think the hitting from behind, I think we've let it go. I think there's some people that believe that people turn and accept those hits from behind intentionally. And yeah, there are some, but a lot of them are actually hits from behind. Let's just stop it. Let's just stop those. And listen, I'm not saying we shouldn't worry about hits to the head for sure, but we can also at the same time deal with hits from behind and rid ourselves from that, from the top all the way down across hockey. So I don't think it's just NHL. That's everywhere.
Yeah, I've always felt like the league hasn't done a thorough enough job of putting hitting from behind, which I think is the most dangerous play in hockey, as a big enough priority. They've been hot and cold and all over the map on that. And I don't think they've ever done a great job on that. The team was much better defensively tonight, Brownie. It had some wanting to put an asterisk next to Stu Skinner's shutout in the stats category. Not a full and complete shutout, like an asterisk kind of shutout, because of the way the Oilers defended tonight. What would you say about Skinner's overall performance and what it deserves in the stats pages?
Well, I don't think you get an asterisk when you stop every shot that's thrown your way. That's his job. I thought the Oilers have been terrible defensively, giving up, 10, 12, 15, 17 grade A scoring chances against. And those sometimes beat a goalie. Tonight, he had one big save that he needed to make, and that was on the breakaway. And the game was still in the balance at that point. And he made it because he wasn't under duress the whole night. This is how the Oilers are capable of playing. And it was a predictable game for the goaltender because the Oilers did such a good job defensively. There weren't, plays where guys left open back door. Now Skinner's trying to decide which guy to cover because he's shooting and that guy's open too. The Oilers never gave second opportunities in front of the net. They cleared. How many times did Stu Skinner from the point get to see the shot tonight? And he just swallowed it up because they cleared people in front of his net. It was a good game from Skinner. He didn't have to be exceptional, but he saved all the saves he was supposed to make. So to me, there's no asterisk when you come in and make 26 saves. I thought this was a great defensive effort from top to bottom, including the goaltender.
Yeah, so when I said there's an asterisk, what I was saying is that I believe that the biggest thing, Showergate wanted to highlight Skinner, and I appreciate that, but you can't highlight him without talking about the environment in front of him. And it was so much different. It wasn't even the same. So that's why I said the asterisk. I don't know if I'm going to put it in the record books, but just saying that this was a partnership. And I think it makes a difference for him.
I'd take such a beating from Brownie. Anytime I think I've got something I can sick Brownie on Struds with, I can't help myself, Struds. I just can't help myself. Let's get to core adjustments here, guys. Brought to you by HSE Core Services. We just talked a little bit about it, the adjustments that they made. If you need a safety program, they will build it. If you need it managed, they do that too. If you're stuck dealing with those online safety registries your clients make you sign up for, yeah, they can handle those as well. And yes, they also do core audits. Visit www.hsecor.com for more information. Brownie, Zuby, do you want to throw up that heat map again? Sorry if that's a little bit of a curveball for you, but Brownie, we talked about the drills that they ran in practice, and Struds and I went over this earlier on in the show. So the back checker's coming back more to the middle of the ice. And then if you look at the heat map, so on the left is the Dallas game. Those are the Dallas shot attempts, and you can see everything in the middle of the ice there. Then look at tonight against Seattle over there on the right. You can see that area that they focused on, Brownie. There was a real big adjustment. And it just seems to me when you identify an issue and you focus on it in practice and then get these results, that's a good, healthy process.
It is. Now, here's the asterisk that you guys are talking about. It's the Seattle Kraken. So it's a team that doesn't create as much offensively as the Dallas Stars do.
Yeah.
But what we've seen too many times with the Oilers in these games that they've been struggling in is they chase pucks and there's confusion on who to pick up in their own zone. And it's everyone. It's Connor McDavid. It's Leon Draisaitl. It's everyone from top to bottom. And as a forward, you're always told the same thing. You back check to the house. And if you don't know who you're supposed to get, go to the slot and figure it out from there. Because if you're going to be lost anywhere on the ice, be lost in the slot defensively, because that's where the most important shots are coming from. And then you can find your man. Don't get lost on the boards. Don't get lost behind the goal line. So I think tonight, the Oilers back checking. Now, they didn't have to do it a whole lot because Seattle really didn't create a whole lot. But when they did come back, came back through the slot, and now they're in the danger area. And I think too many times the Oilers have given up these, we see the stats you guys put up, 10, 12, 14 grade A slot shots. And that's where your goaltenders are going to struggle against. But tonight, the Oilers were much better. And it goes on, Struds talked about in the last podcast, the Oilers need to practice this. You don't need to watch video. You need to practice it and do it over and over and over. And eventually, muscle memory will carry you through the hockey games.
Yeah, for sure. Brownie, what did you think of the three-headed monster with Nuge down the middle? Struds has been advocating for that for some time. I think, generally speaking, I think you've tended to skew a little bit more towards keeping the skill in the top six with the big guys, Brownie. I think if that's fair to say. We did get a look at it tonight without Roslovic. What did you think?
Well, when Roslovic's back, it makes it easier to do that because that's someone's going to bump someone else down, and Roslovic will go in the top six again. Yeah, if things are going right, that's great. The problem for the Oilers, it doesn't always go right, and those lines get changed very, very quickly. When the Oilers are fully healthy, they do have pretty good depth, and you're able to do that with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He's fine there. Again, you've got to, the guys that are playing, Savoy's then got to produce. Mangiapane or Podkolzin has to produce. If they're going to be guys taking up minutes in the top six with Connor and Leon, they got to find the back of the net. But tonight, it's really hard to judge. Seattle Kraken weren't very good tonight. And I've got no problem with Nuge playing center on your third line. That makes you a deeper hockey club. I think we all can say that the biggest reason the Oilers lost to the Florida Panthers is their third line was as good as any first line in the National Hockey League. And there was a mismatch when they had the Oilers' third line out in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, good point by you. And I guess the challenge, Struds, will be, so you got the Minnesota Wild, right? One of the hottest teams in the league. Does Chris Knoblauch need to force himself to stop loading up the big guns regardless of the results that he's getting? Has it caused something, an unintended consequence with the rest of the group? So even if you're down 3-1 in the late second period, resist the temptation and keep rolling their 5-on-5 lines out. Is he going to have to get to a place where he can be comfortable doing that?
Well, we haven't seen a lot, right? That it's hard. I get it. It's hard and loading up, and everyone just sits back and says, okay, if these guys are going to do it, we'll just kill time until they come back out. I think you want to empower your team as much as possible. Now, it's easy for me to say that when I'm not losing 3-1 for a team that's not off to a good start. But I think the challenge right now is there are some pretty decent injuries, right? You look at Kapanen. I don't know if there was an update. I didn't see one, but he's going to be out for a little bit here, or they're trying to figure out what it is. And getting Nuge back is huge. And then Roslovic's out for a couple of weeks. So you get Roslovic back and push Mangiapane down, probably where right now he's better suited to play. Who is that third line? Is it Kapanen, Mangiapane, and Nuge? Is that what it looks like? I mean, you can. The nice thing is you can mix and match guys.
Well, and then to add to that too, Shoggers, then Olsen Henriques gets pushed down to your fourth line. Wow. That's a pretty good fourth line centerman at that point. So the Oilers do have depth when they're completely healthy.
All right, that was Core Adjustments brought to you by HSE Core Services. Time now for Struddy's World. Roll the animation, Zoobs.
When you make a mistake, heads should roll. It's not right. And I'm here. Someone has to put their foot down. Now that I say it out loud, it does sound a little crazy.
Gotta look good.
All right, time now for Struddy's World, brought to you by Body Realty at Royal LePage AR Team Realty. Buying a home is a big decision, and the team at Body Realty guides clients through the complex process with expertise and care, providing unwavering support even after the keys are handed over. Their clients will tell you they make you feel like you are the only client that they have. Great personal touch from BodyRealty.com. That's BHATTI Realty.com. Jason?
All right, the good news. Let's talk about that. The Oilers had a good performance defensively. The netminder was solid, and the big boys came. They all had 1-1. The bad news is the other the bottom six forwards collectively had 4 shots, which is probably about 1 shot less than Costco Phil's going to have when he goes out for dinner with Showergate tonight to try to find
Murray.
the stories entertaining.
Murray.
Whatever it's
Costco
Murray,
Murray.
Phil, whatever the same. You know what I'm talking about, the Walker. So listen, it's fine. They got the win, but we have to look at it, and realistically talk about what's going on with the rest of that group. Now, they did bring some energy. Clattenburg obviously got in the fight. They were trying to get to the net. But I think this is a group that's still searching for their best version of themselves so far this year. And they are getting some chances on the penalty kill, but this is something worth monitoring. We know what the top 6 can do. We got to keep an eye on this bottom 6 as we cruise through. I'm going to call it the next, 3 or 4 fortnights. That's 2 weeks for those that don't know at a time. So 2 months probably. I'm keeping an eye on this, guys.
It's a good point, Struts, because on our show tonight with Chad, we got asked a question. It was about Trent Frederick. Where does he fit in when this team gets healthy? It's him and Clattenburg they talked about. Well, Clattenburg, when this team's fully healthy, you're going to have a hard time keeping him in the National Hockey League because he plays 5-6 minutes a night. He doesn't penalty kill. He's not on your power play. It's hard to have that guy in your lineup. As much as you love everything he does, it's hard finding him ice time. And then they said, well, what about Frederick at that point? And it's a good point. Janmark, at least, he's a penalty killer, and he can penalty kill. Henrique in your bottom 6, he penalty kills, takes big face-off. Curtis Lazar, when he's out there, he penalty kills and can take face-offs. Yeah. So the one that we've talked about him a lot is Trent Frederick. If this team ever gets healthy, and it may not, but if it ever gets healthy, where does he fit in? Because he doesn't penalty kill. The Oilers really don't have a second power play unit, whether he's on it or not. And he starts falling down the lineup, how effective would he be as just a 4th-line guy playing? And there's been nights this year that he's played 7 minutes, 8 minutes. And that's a big investment in a guy that's going to play on your 4th line 7-8 minutes. So that goes to Struddy's point. These guys need to find an identity. Some of them can. Frederick's going to be one that's going to – it's hard-pressed to find out what his identity will be going forward because he doesn't play special teams.
Yeah, that's interesting, Brownie. So with – Roslovic getting healthy when he does and coming back. Mm-hmm. Let's say there's no more injuries. And then Kapanen, who, really unfortunate thing that happened the other day. To your point, now you got to start looking at bodies to come out. And I think the point about Lazar is really important. Like Lazar was out there to start the penalty kill. And again, right-handed face-off guy. It's on that side. So you need him for that. But they kept him out there. Like he got multiple opportunities and trusted with big face-offs. And his game seems to be earning some trust out there. And for me, Curtis Lazar, I would not have predicted that Curtis Lazar might be the guy that gets in the way of Trent Frederick being able to be in this Oiler lineup. But that's kind of the way that this is trending over the next couple of fortnights.
Well, when you look at it too, Struds, with Curtis Lazar, it's an honest effort every night. I mean, his bar isn't as high as other players, but he does reach it. He does play physical. He's a good penalty killer. He's dogged. And what he is, what you want in the bottom 6, he's somebody that understands his role and plays his role. There's other players that play bottom 6 that don't want to be there. Lazar knows what he goes, I'm a 4th liner. This part of my career, I'm a 4th liner. I win faceoffs. I penalty kill. I block shots. That's my job. And Struds, I think Lazar's done a very nice job with when in the ice time in the games that he's gotten. I think he's been very effective.
He's your prototypical wily veteran 12th, 13th forward. He's been around a long time. There's a reason he's been in the NHL this long. Now, I actually think he was brought up too soon and not developed properly, but that's a story for another day. But when I look at him, he's just that gritty guy, the wily guy that he could play another 5 years. You're like, geez, every year he's on the NHL. Well, there's a reason why. Because he can sit out for 10 games and come in that 11th game and deliver what you see for him, right? He gets it. He understands it. And there's value to that. And he's cheap. He's cheap on a minimum deal. So he's very attractive to a lot of teams for that reason.
All right, that was Struddy's World, brought to you by the Batty Realty Group. All right, Brownie, we are going to spring you up. Know you got plans tonight, want to be able to enjoy yourself. So you have yourself a good one, and we will chat with you in a couple of days' time, my friend.
Sounds good.
See you, Brownie.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
Bye,
Thanks for
Brownie.
not having my back here on Got Your Back. Don't got your back, Shogger, is what. Probably name a segment that. Reasons we don't have Shogger's back tonight. Okay, when we come back, let's wrap up that poll. Let's get our scoreboard done. We'll take a couple laps around the league, see what else is going on. And then I'm probably going to have to go take a shower while the rest of you do ask us anything. So stay with us. Lots still ahead.
For over 60 years, Belvedere Golf and Country Club has delivered a high-quality membership experience to Edmonton and area. And now it's even better. Drainage and irrigation improvements in 2024 have taken course conditions to a new level. This commitment to long-term sustainability means exceptional playing conditions all season long. Belvedere's tee sheet availability is unmatched, so join now and experience golf the way it was meant to be played, on your schedule. Visit belvederegcc.com today.
Wait, that was wrong. That was wrong. Hold on for a second. We'll be right back.
What?
So at
What's happening?
Timberhouse, our guiding philosophy is naturally inspired living. We believe that through design, we can solve problems and enhance people's lives. We follow biophilic design principles in all of our builds to incorporate natural materials, natural light, to enhance all the spaces in a home. When you have your space perfectly reflect who you are and what you value, and it's made well, we think that that just leads to better living.
Mainline Water and Sewer specializes in sewer line repair and replacement using advanced trenchless methods for fast, clean results. They provide detailed sewer assessments and scoping to identify problems before they become costly. Serving both residential and commercial properties, no job is too big or too small, and with over 40 years of experience, they've seen it all. Trust Mainline to keep your lines flowing smoothly.
Zooby, zooby, zoo.
Might not always be perfect, but man, he recovers well. Zooby, zooby, zoo.
Wish they still said that about my hockey game. There's no recovery there. I'm down and out.
Welcome back to the show. Let's take a couple of laps, shall we? Brought to you by Riverside Motorsports, your multi-brand motorsports dealer serving Edmonton for over 55 years, offering a wide selection of a new and pre-owned motorcycles, ATVs, side-by-side, snow bikes, e-bikes, and snowmobiles from industry-leading brands, featuring a fully certified service department, genuine OEM parts and accessories, and recognized as the #1 KTM dealership in the country. Check them out online, riversidemotorsports.com.
I'm just going to touch two tonight. Just going to go over two. First one, and these were yesterday, but they're pretty significant. Mike Matheson of the Canadiens gets an extension. So 5 times $6 million. This is pretty significant for them. They've got a nice D there. I mean, look at Noah Dobson, Caden Gooley, who really has to kind of get some luck and not get injured. And then you got Lane Hudson tied up. So their top four is tied up for the next 4, 5, 6 seasons, a long time. So you can see what that back end looks like, and they can be a little more patient with some of the younger players that are trying to drift in there. So big,
what do you think
good
of
signing.
That number there, Struds? I saw a few people were talking about Matheson, like maybe leaving a little bit of money on the table there for them. He's got 15 points in the 24 games this year, 62 points couple of seasons ago. So he's definitely got that nice high offensive upside, but the Habs have other people that can do that as well. So did it feel like a deal that kind of, was, I wouldn't call it super team friendly, but like recognizing the situation a little?
Without going into a real deep dive on looking at all the contracts, at first glance, I felt it was light. But, maybe they give him an extra year to make it happen. And you're right. His offensive role is going to change a bit. By bringing in Noah Dobson and the emergence of Lane Hudson, he doesn't have to put up a lot of points, right? That's not necessary, his thing. And not that he can't put up points, but it's not his number one goal. It's to be that good two-way D-man, make plays, all those types of things that we know Matheson does well. The next point, the Calgary Flames signed their general manager and some of their management team to 2-year extensions. Craig Conroy's been there. He's guided this team through some tough times, and I dare say it might get a little darker before it gets lighter, but I think he's done a good job thus far. Let's evaluate what it looks like the next 6 months. They've got a lot of pending UFAs and perhaps players that would be desired in other markets like Nazem Kadri. Do they keep? Do they move? Really interesting times and humongous decisions for him. But I think he's done a pretty good job kind of, emptying the tanks while still bringing in new players that make them competitive. So we'll see what happens the next, again, 6 months.
It's an interesting optic, hey, when a team is where they are in the standings and they re-sign the brain trust and it's this sort of public thing. They must sort of grimace while they put it out there because they know, right? Like the team is not where the fans want it to be. They're not in a great spot yet. You want to, if you're announcing that you're signing someone, you kind of want to celebrate their accomplishments a little bit and say positive things about them. So really this is just about staying the course and especially recently, because didn't people from the organization just talk about how it's not going to be a rebuild and this and that? And
Don Maloney.
Maloney kind of like it just all feels a little strange. I agree with you. I think it's a good move, and I think he's the right guy for the job. He's got Jerome right there with him, who I think will play a bigger role with time too. So like, just a bit of a weird optic though, hey?
Yeah, I can say I'm not going bald, but the reality is I probably am slightly balding. But for the Calgary Flames, you can say you're not going to rebuild. You can tell me you think your team should be more competitive. They're not. They aren't. They do need to go into a rebuild, and they're not good enough. They don't have enough talent. Now, it may be coming, but right now it's not there. So if I'm a Flames fan, and I don't want anyone to think this is an anti-Calgary stance. It's not. This is a reality check. You need to look at where your team's at and, endorse and support your manager to try to make them better for the next 2-3 years, not for the next 2-3 months. And I think that's maybe a mistake they made last year because they've taken a pretty big step back this year. And like I said, I think it'll get worse because the right thing to do is to move Kadri and Rasmus Anderson. It is the right thing to do. Now, the owner sounds like he doesn't want to do it. Well, that's fine, but it just drags us out longer than it needs to be.
That was Taking a Lap, brought to you by Riverside Motorsports. For our scoreboard tonight, we're right in the middle of the day and the bulk of the NHL action is still happening. So we're going to take a closer look at the Oilers schedule and this upcoming homestand in particular. Talk a little bit about expectations and what is fair, what is reasonable. What should they be looking to do on this upcoming road trip? And as always, this segment's brought to you by our friends at the Bridge Sports Therapy, where they offer a comprehensive approach that extends beyond temporary pain relief. Focuses on developing long-term strength and resilience with clinics in Edmonton, Sherwood Park, Lethbridge, opening soon in St. Albert as well. Learn more at thebridge.fit. A game changer of an exercise for me, Struds, that my fantastic therapist at the Bridge had given me. Wanted to work on the quad strength a little bit, but at times with the low back, squats and such are a bit of an issue. Has me doing wall sits. Do you have much experience with wall sits, Struds? It's been a really good way to kind of get the quad burn going, buddy. I never would have thought of it if I had not gone to physio.
That's great to hear. Now I've done them. I don't enjoy them, so I don't do them that often anymore. I have every now and then. My daughter loves them. They're great, and it's just old school. Just what do you need? You need a flat wall to sit against. Yeah, and they just
good for the low back. Yeah, man. Yeah. I tell you, you do 5 reps of 10 seconds each, and boy, you're just burning.
It's amazing. Well, good for you. And I find it's good. That makes sense because you did an arm workout today, a 17-minute arm workout that was shorter than your hot tub stint. So I get it. It must have been bagged after the wall sits.
I put it on a tee for you, and you missed it because you looked at your phone. You missed it.
Well, I'm trying to
5 reps. Here. 5 reps at 10 seconds each, and then the burn is going. That just went right over your head.
Oh God, it did. I did miss it, but I'm not going to lie. I'm trying to be nicer. It's the holiday season.
Why?
I don't know.
Why start now? We're in season 5, buddy. We're in season 5. So why are you going to try and be nice now? Oiler
I'm
road
trying.
trip coming up here. You got the Minnesota Wild, Seattle Kraken, Winnipeg Jets, Buffalo Sabres, and Detroit Red Wings. Now, no back-to-backs in this little stretch, Struds. So there are some decent teams coming in. Like the Wild are a pretty good team, and they're really rolling right now. You got 5 games, and you feel like your team game is rounding a little bit into form. If 500 is acceptable on a road trip, what about a 5-game homestand with this quality of competition?
Wild are tough. They're really good. The Kraken,
Yep.
I'm not a believer. I'm sorry, Kraken fans, all you Krakenites. The Jets are really struggling right now. They're without their number one goaltender for sure through this game. The Sabres, I think the Oilers can play better against them, and then you got the Red Wings. I think 8 out of 10 points is what they should be going for. If they win the first game, it sets them up for 8 for sure. If they lose, it makes it a little tougher. But I think that this come home and have a really good game Tuesday. That game is, I believe, Shower.
8 out of 10, that's a lot. I think I'm going to go 7 as a realistic number to push for. 8 out of 10 would be fantastic, and that would signal a turnaround, I would say, the type of turnaround that the team has been looking to sink its teeth into. Even 7 out of 10 points would kind of push them in that direction too. So it's going to be interesting. They've earned this. They've been grinding on the road for a little bit. Now they've had a run of 1 game in 6 days. They played Seattle today. They've even got 2 days between the Jets game on Saturday and the Sabres on Tuesday where they can probably get at least 1 good practice in there. So it eases up a little bit here for them.
And just quickly, like this game this afternoon game today is humongous. I'm guessing they'll have a day off tomorrow, but they're going to get home like 8 or 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
They can go and have a normal bedtime. And let's say tomorrow's a day off. It's like 2 days off. I'm telling you, these morning games when we have an afternoon and you have the next day off, it's humongous. So this is massive for their rest as well. So I think they have a really good practice on Monday.
You think if they're home in time to go for dinner, would you need to get a shower in after your travel day back before you went for dinner, do you think? Or are you okay with just your post-game shower?
They showered at the rink. They're fine. They don't need anything else.
They're good? All right. Zuby, hop in. Let's wrap up the poll, my friend. That was our scoreboard/schedule brought to you by The Bridge Sports Therapy and Training. Where did things result? Am I leaving and going to have a shower, or was there a late surge?
I don't know. What was the cutoff point what was the percentage cutoff point? Or were you hoping you were actually going to come back to win this one outright?
Yeah, like I said, if I lose the poll, I'll leave for Ask Us Anything. And you can even leave my shot up as a signifier that I've made a mistake. How bad was it? Were there any comments in favor of? Like of any of the people who voted that I don't need, did anyone comment?
There were, but it's going to take me a little while. I did flag a couple. Let me see, but I'm going to have to. Riot's Edge said warm soapy cloth and scrub down if you can't shower. So you're thinking you could just do kind of an all over thing with a warm soapy cloth. Neil Garrity said Drakkar Noir and go. So that I like that. That's pretty good too.
Okay.
Mike Green said, no, you're fine not to shower. Just wear your best steel toe boots and flannel jacket. And there was one more good one. Somebody said they always shower after a hot tub, but they said you're still good to go. I did star that one, but I can't find it.
Okay.
Now that's 4 out of about, close to 100 comments probably that came up on the stream. Some of them were very short, just like, yes, go shower. You need to. Kayla
Rinse
said,
it off.
You got to shower. Only takes 10 minutes for the fellas. So if you want to know the actual numbers, and I tried to be, for people who didn't hear you making your case, the question was, does Shower need to shower before a dinner out? In parentheses, light workout, hot tub, nap since last shower. 85% said yes to 15%. 15% gave you a pat. I don't know. That's pretty good.
Maybe Shogger's musky man smell is better than fresh shower smell. Anything is possible, says Kayla Weethorn. Yeah.
Kayla.
Maybe
you can overdo it.
Maybe Costco Rob smells like hot dogs from Costco, and that'll overpower.
It's Costco Murray. It's not Costco Rob. It's Costco Murray and Weird Birthday Celebrating Amber. That is the couple
Costco
that we're going up.
And now Costco I don't remember.
Murray.
I don't remember the weird birthday celebrating Amber. Can you give us the Coles notes on that?
Oh yeah, we were out for her
Yeah.
birthday dinner, 50th birthday dinner, and we're singing to her. And it was like, I think maybe Steve was doing the show,
right.
and it was like,
I
"Happy birthday, dear." She blew out the candles, like we weren't done the song, and she blew out the candle
Right.
and just looked at all of us, and we were like, "What is going on here?" So,
And that's Phil's wife.
it's not Phil, it's
Murray.
Murray. You're muted, big cat. You're muted. Get that mic
That's-
under control.
Phil's the cousin.
Okay, so Amber is Murray's wife.
Wife, yeah.
Now I'm confused. Can you ask her? Will you ask? Did you ask her tonight? Why did you ask her at the time why she blew the candles out?
I asked her in the moment. I asked her, like I was apoplectic. I was like, "What just happened?" I stopped singing. I didn't know what was going on. Anyway, I'll ask her at dinner tonight, and maybe I'll I'll see if I can get her to explain, and maybe I'll record it on a voice note, and we can roll that for Sunday show.
want to
Okay,
know.
well I'm out of here. I got to go shower. Struddy, you got your ad reads ready? I'll do the Ask Us Anything ad read, and then I'm out of here. I gotta go. I got to go hop in the shower. Ask us anything. Ask Struds and Zuby anything. Brought to you by Mortgages by Maria. Powered by Dominion Lending Centers. Maximal Mortgages. If your mortgage renewal is coming up, don't just sign the first thing your bank puts in front of you. With the right strategy, you could save thousands and make sure your money works harder for you, not for the bank. Get smarter options and expert advice at mortgagesbymaria.ca. And with that, I will bid you two gentlemen adieu. Zuby, I am going to hop out of the chat because I don't want one of my kids to come like sit down at the computer while I'm in the shower or something. So have a good finish to the show. And Sunday night, off night pod tomorrow night. Maybe a little Zuby wet action.
Let's do it.
Although we'll have to talk. Rob Brown might not be available for that. So we might need to have a fill-in on the Zuby wed. But we'll talk tomorrow, guys. Have a strong finish. And thank you all for your honesty. I appreciate the honesty.
See you, buddy. Have a good dinner.
See you, pal.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay. We got
Let's do some.
a few to get here, Struddy. There's some fun ones. There's not a ton. It's very opinionated. We're not going to get too much really into tonight's game. There's a few settling family arguments, which I know you would love to do. So
some non-hockey ones. That sounds right. Then we'll wrap her up. A nice early Saturday evening for everyone.
All right, let me find. I did have a couple about tonight's games that I wanted to get to. Polly asking, are the Oilers finally building an identity, or was this them playing desperate hockey tonight? And I guess that identity would be details to defensive hockey. That's what it felt like tonight, and what the practices seemed to focus on. So do you feel like they took steps towards that tonight?
Yeah, step one. But they say that the journey of 1,000 miles is the hardest one, is the first step. So they got it started tonight, and listen, we know they can play better defense, right, as a group. And they're still missing Wallman. We didn't really talk about that. They're missing some pretty big chunks of their lineup here. But it's a desire to do it consistently. That's all it is. It's a habit. A former teammate might just say, Struddy, it's a habit. And it is a habit. That's right. So they've had great habits. They've been a good defensive team in the past. They can do it again. They just have to be reminded of it, and they'll get there. But tonight was a good step in the right direction. Now this homestand, they can have, if they have a good little run, put some points on the board, they're in good shape for kind of heading into the Christmas break.
Alex Cognier coming in right away and saying step 2 is win 2 in a row, or at least bring the same kind of effort or attention to detail 2 in a row. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would challenge Alex, and I understand what you're saying, Alex, but I'm more about the process. So even if they lose 1-0 on Tuesday to the Wild, but the process is good, like as far as how the way they defend, their puck management, all that kind of stuff is the right way, eventually you're going to get more wins. Now, if they slip back and they lose 5-1 and the puck management, all the stuff I just talked about is sideways again, well, then we're starting over again. But let's focus on the process here. Let's count this one, we'll say 6 games till the end of this this homestand before they go to Toronto to play the Leafs.
Okay. Chad Jenkins coming in says, Frederick needs to be a little bit like Marchment. I kind of thought that watching this game tonight. The Oilers don't seem to have a guy that's mixing it up in that way. And is that just the wrong comparison? Is Frederick just not that same guy, or do you think he can channel that?
I feel when I watch him, he's kind of doubting himself and questioning what he is. I think I know what he is, but it doesn't matter what I think. I think he needs to feel that way and bring it, and understand that's how his best. And I'm not suggesting he thinks he's too good or whatever, but as players, sometimes you start to forget what you are. And maybe this contract, I think, the human side of it. You sign a big contract like that for a long term, and you're maybe trying to be something you aren't. You start out the top line, and it doesn't. You're not scoring all the time. I think there is something to be said for that. So let's give him some time here to work it out. But I think eventually he will find out what he'll remember what got him the contract he has now with the Oilers.
Robin says, upside of all the penalties, McDavid only played 17 minutes. I guess there's something to that, but do you want to still see an ongoing, commitment to limiting these guys? It's the way the game script worked out, I guess, tonight, but would you like to see more of that?
I would. Like, even tonight, you get up that fourth goal, shut them down, boom, right? Or limit them, right? Go like line 3-4, 1-3-4, 2-3-4, 1-3-4. Like, get those other guys out there, get them going, and take some minutes off these other guys. Let them breathe, let them rest. And I know they're like, well, they're trying to get points. Yeah, they've done that. They don't care about points. I don't think they're trying to get wins, and they need to have fresh legs. I would have backed off.
Riot's Edge says, Oilers back checked and showed effort. I did not recognize this team today. Is that like, I would kind of agree. I mean, we talk about identity. We were happy that the goaltending was better tonight than it has been, but they can't be too happy with one game, can they?
So you did recognize this team. It was a team from last year and the year before.
Yeah, right.
That's what I think. That's what everyone's just surprised and disappointed about. It's not. It's they're the core is good. The team is good. It's just they're not playing up to the way they can. So you got to start somewhere here, and this is part of that process. No one else has had to deal with 2 finals losses in a row. The emotions that go on with that, and do we have to try to get all the way back there again, and how long that is? Like, that's a really hard place, and I can't even begin to imagine what it's like, because I wasn't even to 1 and lost. Imagine losing 2 in a row. So I think it's a real emotional burden, and I've said it. Let's give them till the December into New Year even, and find their real legs and get going. And that's why they're hanging around, guys. They're hanging around. They'll be fine. They're a playoff team. So it's just, that's what you recognize was last year's team.
I think even as a fan, you think about it. It feels like getting plucked off the summit of the mountain and being placed back at the foot of the mountain, and we're just watching. We don't even have to do it. They have to do it.
100%. So far to go. And I said it. They're pacing themselves, and that's just the truth.
All right. Before we get to a couple of silly ones, I'm going to give Squeaky Wheel the last word on this game. He or she said no asterisks on shutouts, no critiquing wins, and no skipping showers when you go out to dinner. Rules to live by. I think that's a pretty good summary of the game and the show tonight. Let's get to a couple quick fun ones. Dr. Carpy wants to know, what's your go-to snack during an Oilers game? Snack and drink. And I got some good ones from the chat too, but I'll let you go, Struddy.
Yeah, things are going good. I like, especially a nighttime game. This is a bit early. I'll give myself a pretty healthy pour of port. I like port.
Oh, very nice.
Pretty. And then I try not to snack after supper. That's kind of but if I need to, maybe an orange or something, or maybe some popcorn. But yeah, I try not to snack after supper, Zoobs.
Oh, wow. No popcorn, no I like tortilla chips with some,
yeah, me
maybe
too.
some guac. And have anyone ever get the, oh gosh, what are they called? The Fiesta flavor of the La Cocina tortilla
I've never had
chips.
that.
Oh my gosh, you got to get those. They're amazing. They got a little lightly dusted with some flavor, and it is a Fiesta.
Jeez.
So some of those with a little guac and salsa, and a beer. Oh, you said port. Yeah, I probably have I might have a beer, a dark lager, or a little bit of spice box whiskey on ice.
Okay.
And then we had some good ones from the stream. Saw Allison said fudge covered Ritz, literal crack if you haven't had them. I have not had fudge covered Ritz.
Oh,
That
boy.
sounds delightful. Soggy Corpse likes popcorn and hockey together, or pretzels or wings. Love eating and watching hockey. Nachos. Somebody on here said they make nachos. Oh, it's this, Dr. Carpy. I also ate nachos today. I make mine with a mix of Cool Ranch Doritos and bold Doritos, ground beef jalapenos.
Jeez.
Doritos. I mean, that sounds very rich. I want to try that, but I don't know if I could even handle that much flavor. That's what the tortilla chips I'm talking about are like. Lightly, they're like 1/8 of the seasoning of a Dorito, maybe less. So I'm sure it would be amazing. Okay. Couple of family debates to solve. Paulie says, settle a family debate for me here. NCAA Div 1 champ versus Memorial Cup champ, 7-game series. Who wins and why? Or is it just really close, Struddy?
Yeah, I think that I'll probably go with the Division 1 champs because they're older, right? You got to remember all the kids in junior are, most of them are all 19 and under. And then in college, it's changed a bit now, but a lot of those kids are 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. They're a lot older. So just for that alone, like think back to when the Oilers used to play the Golden Bear, the Oilers rookie used to play the Golden Bears. A lot of those games are quite close.
Right. Okay, here's another. This is a good one. Blommer says, staycations, getaway on a budget, or lame waste of time. Big debate in the Blom family. And I did get some more information on this, which did make me laugh out loud. So we're going to include that too. I asked him, which side are you on, Blommer? He says, Mom and I are pro staycation. My brother, sister, and dad see it as a waste of time. My favorite is to hit up the Sandman signature Langley with the jacuzzi in the living room.
Yeah.
And I'm picturing Blommer on vacation with his family sitting in the jacuzzi in the living room. Staycation, Struddy, good or bad?
I'm not against them. I get it. I sometimes, you've been maybe traveling, you're working a lot or whatever, and you just want to stay home. We actually did one at the mall, the Fantasyland Hotel. We stayed there for, I want to say it was 2 or 3 nights. I think it was like the Polynesian room. We had the hot tub in there and it was fun. And we did everything at the mall, right? All the things. And my kids are a little bit younger, but they really enjoyed it. And it was just a getaway without really getting away, if that makes sense. So yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's cool. We did, my wife and I mean, it was our anniversary, but we did Sparkling Hill for a weekend, which is like nearby, it's Vernon, it's nearby. So I think that's kind of in the same ballpark, but I'd stay, if I wanted to do it really on a budget, I'd staycation at home, I suppose.
Yeah, you can do that. That's a lot cheaper for sure.
So I could see that. Okay, last one. JNL wants to know your favorite 80s fantasy movie. That's very
fantasy. That I haven't even got anything like that prepped. I can't even. I guess The Princess Bride, was that 80s?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's probably it. I mean, I honestly, I usually have I need to do some thinking, but off the top of my head, I'd say Princess Bride.
I think that's a good one. I was going to go there too, the more I thought about it, but the ones that popped into my head were The Neverending Story and Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Which, for whatever reason, I watched both of those movies a ton of times when I was a kid, but I bet you I haven't watched either one of them in 30 years or more.
But they're all really good. We just watched Princess Bride with my kids maybe a couple years ago. And they're like, in junior high, they loved it. They thought it was fantastic.
I want my kids to watch it. I've got them to watch. Yeah, Willow. Blommer was coming in with Willow. Right. I do want my kids to watch Princess Bride. I had my daughter watch The Goonies with me, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. Awesome. I don't know. I guess it's fantasy. So I guess my actual number one answer would be The Goonies by far. But I was thinking more fantastical. So, but yeah, I want to get the kids to watch The Princess Bride for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to give that some thought and try to get back to you tomorrow night because that's a hard one. It's not as clear, right? Yeah. Okay, that was Ask Us Anything brought to you by our good buddy Maria. So let's get on to Play of the Day brought to you by Modern Measure. Holiday shopping doesn't have to be hard. Give the gift of looking sharp with a Modern Measure gift card. In Edmonton's Ice District, they're leaders in made-to-measure style. From tuxedos to custom denim, buy a gift card now and get a bonus 10% extra. Committed to providing you with a 5-star experience with a personal touch and attention to detail that will exceed your expectations. Visit modernmeasure.com. That's MDRNmeasure.com. Zuby, this is the easiest one of the whole year. Yesterday in the game, the Unders are playing, and Cal Palmieri got knocked down, fell down awkwardly, and hurt his leg. He was having a really hard time getting off the ice. So he's trying to get off the ice, and as he's getting off there, the opposing team brings a puck into their zone. He lifts that player's stick, passes to a buddy. That guy passes to another guy, and they score. All the while, playing on a torn ACL. He's out 6 to 8 months, and he made that play. The teammates couldn't see enough good things about him. I have never, ever seen an injured player make a play like that ever, not one time. So pretty amazing moment for him and his teammates, but terrible that he's out now for 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, that's super cool. I've seen a number of, in the NFL, you've seen a number of players make a catch as they injured themselves.
Right.
But I don't think I've seen the injury and then the play. So that is pretty awesome.
Incredible. What a gutsy performance by a guy. All right, everyone. This was a nice one to do. After Tuesday night's thrashing of the 8-3, this was a lot nicer. Oilers win 4-0. Tell a friend about the podcast. Give us a thumbs up on the way out. Subscribe. We'd love to have you do that. But most importantly, Zuby, let's make sure everyone has a good Saturday night. If you see Schauger, give him a sniff test as you walk by when he's out with Costco Philly.
I hope somebody comes up. I hope someone sees him wherever he is and comes out and sniffs him at the table and says, "You're good, buddy."
So
the shower paid off.
Exactly. We've got a pod tomorrow night, an off-game pod, a Sunday night. Those are kind of what we like to do. So check with us tomorrow night for the time. And we're back with the normal game set this week. Zuby, any final thoughts as we walk out the door here, bud?
Just to some of our friends, Blommer was late, Northern Farm Girl was late. For the people who were late tonight, we got a pod tomorrow night. So it'll be on the socials. Don't miss it. Be here from the beginning. Non-game night, so we're sure to have some fun.
It's going to be a great time. So thanks for tuning in. Tell a friend. Talk to you tomorrow night. Everybody, again, Oilers win 4-0. Thanks to Schauger, Zuby, Brownie, and myself. Thanks for tuning in, and all of our sponsors. Talk to you tomorrow night, everybody. Good night.